Welcome to The Explainer. We're here to take on those big, complex questions and break them down into something clear and hopefully really interesting.
So let's just jump right in. We're tackling one of the oldest questions humanity has ever asked itself. Why on earth does our brain cook up these strange, vivid, and sometimes just plain bizarre movies for us every single night?
To really get a handle on just how powerful dreams can be, we've got to start with a story that literally changed our entire view of the universe.
I mean, how incredible is that? This story just perfectly illustrates the whole point. Dreams aren't just random static in our brains. They can be this deep well of creativity and insight, a place where our minds solve problems we can't even crack when we're awake. Forever, we've been trying to figure out what our dreams are trying to tell us. And that search has led to some of the biggest and most conflicting ideas in all of psychology.
So, you've got these two giants of psychoanalysis, right? Freud and Jung. And they looked at dreams in completely opposite ways. Freud was convinced that dreams were basically hiding the truth, disguising our deepest, darkest wishes. But Jung? He thought the exact opposite. He believed dreams weren't hiding a thing. They were trying to send us a direct message, loud and clear.
And for Jung, this all came down to one key idea: compensation. Think of it like this. If you spend all day being super logical and pushing your feelings aside, your dreams will serve up a huge dose of emotion that night. They're trying to balance you out, to make you whole. In his view, they're not just weird stories, they are essential messengers for our well-being. Okay, so we've talked about the psychological why. Now let's switch gears and get into the biological how. What is actually going on inside your head when those midnight movies start to roll? So, as you start to doze off, your brainwaves totally change. You go from those busy beta waves when you're awake to calmer alpha waves. But the real magic happens when you hit that dream state, usually in REM sleep. Theta waves appear, and this is the key part. Your prefrontal cortex, which is like the logical CEO of your brain, it just clocks out. Your inner critic goes quiet, and that's what lets your thoughts run wild in the most creative ways. So, what's the secret recipe for a really weird dream? Well, it's a very specific chemical cocktail. You get a huge spike in stuff like acetylcholine and dopamine, which makes your brain super active and a little bit trippy. But at the same time, the chemicals that keep you grounded in reality, like serotonin and norepinephrine, they just take a nosedive. It's like you're slamming the gas pedal on your imagination while completely cutting the brakes of logic. Now, here's the crucial thing. This absolutely bizarre brain state isn't just for fun. Modern science is telling us it's actually a vital form of brain maintenance. It's the brain's night shift, and it's essential for us to learn and just function.
Right now, the leading scientific theory is that dreaming is how our brains sort through the mountain of information we gather every day. It's like cleaning up a messy desk. It helps file away important memories into long-term storage so we don't forget everything we learned.
And this is where it gets really, really cool. Your brain doesn't just file things away neatly. No, it plays with them. It pulls out a memory from this morning and connects it to something from 10 years ago. It's this incredible remixing process. And you have to wonder, maybe this biological remixing is the very same thing Jung was talking about, the brain trying to find connections and create balance. And it's not just about memory. Another huge idea is that dreaming is like a simulator. It's a safe place for your brain to rehearse for difficult situations. Maybe you dream about a tough conversation you need to have. Is that your brain just practicing? Or, like Jung might say, is it helping you compensate for your fear of that conversation? It really does seem like the biology and the psychology could just be two sides of the very same coin. So, all of this leads us to what might be the most exciting frontier in all of dream science. What if you could do more than just watch the movie? What if you could become the director? Well, that's lucid dreaming. You know that incredible, fleeting moment you sometimes have in a dream where a part of your brain just goes, wait a minute, I'm dreaming? For most of us, that's it. But for lucid dreamers, that's just the beginning. It's a doorway to actually taking control, changing the story, and exploring that world with your conscious mind fully awake. Okay, so why would you even want to do this? Well, the number one reason, and this won't surprise you, is pure wish fulfillment. I mean, who wouldn't want to fly, right? But it's not all just for fun. People use it for really practical things, like facing their fears in a totally safe space, or tapping into that creative dream logic to solve problems they're stuck on in real life. And this is where its potential gets absolutely mind-blowing. Think about people who have recurring nightmares. Becoming lucid gives them the power to change the ending. It's even being looked at as a tool for managing PTSD, for athletes to practice their moves in their minds, and even for building real-world confidence. It's pretty incredible.
But here's the thing. Even with all of these amazing discoveries, from psychology, from neuroscience, from therapy, the true, fundamental purpose of dreaming, it's still one of the greatest unsolved mysteries our brains have left. So if our dreams are just our brains talking to themselves, what are they trying to say? We've seen the biology, the how, it's memory consolidation, it's a rehearsal, and we've seen the psychology, the why. It's a search for balance, a look into our hidden selves. But maybe the real answer isn't picking a side. Maybe it's about seeing how it all weaves together. Perhaps the meaning of a dream isn't found in some universal dictionary, but in the completely unique, personal, and endlessly creative story your own brain decides to tell you, night after night. Thanks for joining this explainer.